The criminal matter on indictment against former supervisor of elections, Mr. Wingrove George, that was the DPP versus Mr. George, concluded on Tuesday. The Crown made the decision to discontinue the proceedings. A press release from the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions said that the Crown has taken the view that it is no longer in the public's interest to proceed against Mr. George. On Thursday, October 20th, 2022, the day on which the trial was scheduled to begin, Mr. George produced new information to the court, which was not previously in the Crown's possession. The information provided by Mr. George was investigated, and the decision was taken to discontinue the matter, as the information he produced amounted to a defense which could not have been negated by the Crown, the release continued. At no stage was the DPP's office engaged in a political witch hunt, as alleged by Mr. George in a purported public statement he issued on Tuesday on social media, the release noted. Every prosecution from the DPP's office is based on the evidence and pursued only in the public interest. The DPP's office did not receive any instructions about this case from the executive and does not take directions from any executive. The DPP's office acts independently within its constitutional powers, the release noted. In commenting on the Crown's decision, the court expressed agreement with the decision that it was done by fair-minded prosecutors and that while Mr. George had no obligation to put forward any information in his defense, had the information come to the Crown's attention before, the matter could have been concluded sooner. The Crown was represented by DPP from Montserrat, Mr. Oris Sullivan, and local Crown Counsel, Mr. Burvis Burke. In his statement on social media, Mr. George alleged that he was the victim of a witch hunt. He believed that the case was political in the first place, which was brought by the previous administration, and was continued with additional legal help by the current administration, and he felt that he was being treated unfairly. The Court of Appeal had in 2020 dismissed the appeal of Wingrove George, the former supervisor of elections. He was charged with the offense of misconduct in public office arising from his actions during the February 16, 2015 general election, when he refused to announce the results of constituencies number 4 and 8. On the 26th of January 2018, Mr. George challenged the decision of the Director of Public Prosecutions to commence prosecutions and the decision of the magistrate to issue the summons. He brought an application for judicial review against the senior magistrate and the Director of Public Prosecutions. Mr. George contended that because the conduct complained of arose during the conduct of an election, the charge had to be tried by the election petition filed within 21 days of the election. The senior magistrate and the DPP argued in response that the election petition only related to matters concerning whether or not a candidate had been validly elected to the National Assembly. Andre Huey, SKN News 9.